I'm Tony Biasiotta, Mayor of Seven Hills. I'm here today with Nancy Nozik from Brandstetter Carroll and our Director of Recreation, Jen Berger. We are very excited to bring you this video that is going to outline our parks master plan. But before we dive in, I want to share a little bit of a history with you. When I first got into public service, I heard from many residents from walking the neighborhood that they wanted to see improvements in three things: our streets, our sewers, and our parks. To date, including this year's very robust program, we've invested $7.4 million in our streets. And over the last 18 months, we've taken a very deep dive into our sewer situation where we've completed 8 projects and we have 9 more either underway or planned. That now brings us to the great opportunity to improve our parks. Why do we want to improve parks? Well, there's 3 major tenets to that. There's the economic value, the health value, and there's certainly the social value. From an economic standpoint, many studies show that you'll see an increase in property values in the surrounding neighborhoods close to a park. From a health perspective, parks give us an opportunity to get fit or stay fit. And last but not least, a mark of any quality of life measure is the availability to parks and recreation opportunities.
I'm Nancy Nozik from Brandstetter Carroll. I'm an architect and I lead our downtown Cleveland office. Brandstetter Carroll is architects, landscape architects, and planners. We've been around for over 40 years doing work for cities and counties throughout Ohio and Kentucky. And about 30 years ago, we started a focus on parks and park planning. Over that time, we've done park designs for over 300 parks. So we're really excited to be working with the City of Seven Hills, looking at the 6 parks in the city. We've taken your vision one step further to develop master plans and concepts for each of these parks. And while we looked at each park individually and how it fits and serves the specific neighborhood that that park is in, we've also looked at all of the parks as a whole to make sure that recreation elements are distributed across the entire city. So the plans that you'll see include upgrades to playgrounds, to the courts, some new pickleball courts, restroom facilities, paths and trails throughout all of them, and even a splash pad. So we're very excited to get some feedback from you, the residents, because the mayor is eager to get these projects started. Thank you.
It's now time for us to focus our attention on our parks. And what we're going to review today is a high-level concept of what our parks can be if we invest in them. One of the things about this plan that I'd love to emphasize is the plan is for everyone. You know, for years we've had a great recreation community center, but that was for members. Time and again I've heard from residents that they want activities and recreation that is non-membership based. And what we hope to roll out here is something that has something for everyone. Like I said, all age groups, all different interests, whether you want to hike a trail or you want something more active like basketball or a ninja course, or you just want to be able to enjoy the park and sit in one of the new shelters or pavilions. Whatever your activity level is, there's something for you to enjoy, and you can do it without being a member.
Hi, I'm Jen Berger, the Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Seven Hills. I've worked for the Recreation Department for over 15 years, and in that time, Parks and Recreation have changed considerably. Here we've taken a struggling recreation center, streamlined operations, reduced wasteful spending, and turned a profit, all without compromising programs, safety, or health. Our success hasn't gone unnoticed. The Recreation Department has now become the Parks and Recreation Department to help us make a well-rounded community. Recreation is so much more than just physical, exercise, and fitness. It's a balance of all-around health and well-being. This includes mental, physical, emotional, and social health. I'm proud of how far we've come to make this balance a reality, and with the help of the residents' ideas from the past and present, as well as feedback from a voluntary parks committee, we've prepared a plan that will be beneficial for the overall health and enjoyment of our residents. I look forward to building better parks and enjoying our amenities for years to come.
When we set out to do this master plan, we wanted to accomplish two things. We wanted to have a balance of amenities for all age groups, from toddlers all the way to seniors. And second, we wanted to have a balance of investment throughout our entire community. We did not want the investment only in one neighborhood. We wanted it in all neighborhoods so that it's in close proximity to every community within Seven Hills, and we can all benefit from that. I'm now going to share with you our recommendation for each park. I'm going to start with the concept for our North Park. The concept here is passive recreation. This concept was primarily bolstered by our recent acquisition of the former radio tower property next to North Park. This 20 acres, made possible through a partnership with Clean Ohio and Western Reserve Land Conservancy, is going to be set aside for nature. We're going to build trails approximately 3,000 feet throughout this, and it's going to connect to the current North Park. Taking advantage of this recent acquisition, we are recommending putting a 12-month all-season pavilion on the current North Park site facing the new nature preserve. This is a facility that can be rented for parties, graduations, even weddings. Think of some of the layouts you see in the metro parks or over at the West Creek Conservancy. This is a type of gazebo, but with doors so that it can be used all year round and be integrated in with the nature preserve. I want to move over to the concept at our John Glenn Park. Being named in honor of astronaut and Senator John Glenn, the theme here was an obvious one. It's a space theme. When we look to add space-themed playground equipment, as well as walking trails, a shelter, which it does not have today, a parking lot, and we're going to add pickleball to the current tennis basketball setup. So going forward, we'd like to see a combination of tennis and pickleball from an active sport perspective. We have trails and shelter from a more passive recreation perspective at John Glenn. Now I'd like to move over to Calvin Park, our largest park located center in the city. We have a lot of ideas for this park, and the concept here, of course, is active recreation due to the 3 baseball fields and an overall baseball theme. Yeah, no brainer, right? We have a lot of opportunity at this park, to say the least. One of the major things that we've come back with is a recommendation to turn the old community recreation center that has long been abandoned on this property into a splash pad. In addition to this splash pad, we're talking modern ADA accessible restrooms, a large concession stand and change area that will service both the ball fields and the splash pad. One of the very unique things that the architects have recommended for the city of Seven Hills is the placement of an observation tower at Calvin Park to take advantage of our high altitude and the spectacular views that are offered from this park of downtown, the valley, and our city in general. I'd like to add, we're talking about adding new playground equipment to Calvin that'll be baseball themed, and along with the baseball theme, the splash pad will also have a baseball themed toys. I'd like to turn our attention now to Summit View. That's the area right outside City Hall. We have a number of cool things planned for this area. I believe that what I'm about to share with you will appeal to many ages and many different interests. First, closest to our recreation center, we'd like to add playground equipment. Then just next to that, a ninja course. A little over from that, full court basketball. In between, we're going to have walking trails. And then further down by our current city pavilion, bocce courts. Yeah, I hope you can see what we're trying to accomplish here. Further down the street, off a hillside, is Cricket Park. This small park currently only has a swing set, and I've often found that many residents do not know it exists. But we are looking to make investment in here. It's city-owned property. We're going to put a modern play toy, similar to that can be found at North Park, John Glenn, and everybody else, as well as a shelter. The combination of these two things are going to give area children a place to play, area residents a place to meet in the shelter, and the parents a place to sit in the shade and watch the kids play. Last but not least, I'd like to talk about Valleywood. Valleywood has already seen a number of improvements. I was proud to announce the partnership that we made with Meyer. They donated $45,000 towards improvements at the parks. And we want to recognize this investment in this partnership by renaming the park from Valleywood to Meyer Park. Later this year, we'll have an official unveiling of the new name. Right off the bat, I want to talk about some of the improvements that we've made this year. We were able to get a no-PEC grant for $92,000 to put towards the $110,000 replacement of the lights at the ball field there. In addition, the Meyer sponsorship is going to cover a new scoreboard, bleachers, and still have approximately $25,000 left for further investment in this particular park. In addition to those sponsored by Meyer, part of our master plan, we are looking to upgrade the parking lot, redo the press box, add an ADA compliant restroom at this park, resurface the tennis courts in the back, and turn that into one tennis court and two pickleball. A couple questions you may have is, can we afford this, and how we're going to pay for it? Excellent questions whenever we're talking about anything to do with city services and amenities. And the answer to the first question is emphatically yes. The answer to the second question is the funds for these park improvements will come from Issue 41. Issue 41 was passed by you, the voters, last November and dedicates a certain percent of our overall budget to just parks and recreation. These funds are going to be reinvested in amenities for you. And it will not impact our general fund. Our general fund, at the time of this recording, rests at $7.7 million of unexpended dollars. That money will be there for all other services if it's ever needed. The funding for this park is going to come from the dedicated Issue 41. And Issue 41 basically is repurposing the dollars that we used to use to pay off what I'd like to call the mortgage on our community center. That mortgage was paid off last year. These funds that used to go for that now can be invested in our parks, thanks to Issue 41.